Hello and welcome to the Savvy Gadgets channel with me, Ven UK, and today we're looking at Astroneer and the Exploration update. Okay, so before we continue with this video, don't forget, hit that subscribe button and join my channel. Hit the thumbs up icon if you like this video. Hit the notification bell if you want to keep up to date with my videos. Right, so Astroneer Exploration Update. As you can see from the picture, you now get a jetpack. Oh yeah! So powered by Hydrozine, which is the traditional fuel that is used in the game. Uses ammonium, a couple of pieces of ammonium and some hydrogen gas to create it in your chemistry lab. So this is also one of the more expensive items that you're going to have to buy. You're going to have 15,000 of research, and that's just for the backpack. You also need the outriggers, these bits here, and they cost an extra 5,000. But you only have to buy one, I think, and then you can just put it either side. So that'd be the solid fuel jump jet, which is the next piece down, costing one aluminium alloy to make. That's not too bad. The actual Hydrozine jetpack itself is one titanium alloy. The small camera takes instant photographs when slotted, delayed when placed on the ground. Printed from backpack and costs 1 steel. Costs 2,500 research. Glowsticks. Finally, there is another use for the organic material that you collect in game, and you can now turn them into glow sticks, which is rather nice because you can actually just throw them around and plant them and give yourself like if you're like me and you're going down into your own sort of personal mines, you're running around and you get lost, having some glow sticks to drop on the floor so you can just trace them back to your tether so that you don't die is really useful. And a field shelter. And this field shelter is like a small tent. It's kind of a smaller version of the sort of big round sort of base unit that you get. Okay, so we also have some new storage platforms, some new platforms and some new storage rings and arches. So we've got the large hoop platform A, printed from a medium printer, a large hoop platform B, large storage ring, the extra large arch platform, which I'm actually quite interested to take a look at, and some of the art's been updated, quality life improvements and bug fixes. So platforms no longer sink into the ground. Interesting enough, I was only playing this the other day and my medium rover just disappeared into the floor and I never saw it again. So there are still some issues there. The gateway station now has correct mouse over you, right? So the end goal of Astroneer, if you didn't know that, is that on the planets that you can visit, there are these sort of big purple monoliths, and when you put power into them, they become what they refer to as a bright node. And in the middle, you've got like this hexagonal or object that you can interact with, and once you've been over the planet's surface and activated other ones, you can actually travel between them using these obelisks. Now once you've activated all of them on a planet, you can then burrow straight down to, well, not straight down, but go down to the Earth, to the core of the planet, where you will find another station. And in this sort of like zero kind of G environment, where you can just jump and stick to walls left, right and centre, you will find places where you can place materials. And each place, each planet uses its own material that you put onto it, and then it gives you a key. You can then use this key to get to this floating sort of platform in space, and you activate the sort of like the middle of the planet as a bright node. Then you can go to this sort of like plane, this sort of like odd sort of alien techie type place in space, put the key in there, and then you can then transfer between planets. So you can go from one planet to the other planet without using a rocket. So it makes sense when you're building a base to build it near one of these sort of like purple monolithic towers. So, huzzah, that was a very long-winded description, but it is a very, very good update, and we're going to take a look at some of these items. So, let's load it up and let's get in there. Okay, cool, we're in game, and here we go. Let's get out. What is that? I think I'm on Novus, and these are one of the monoliths that I've been trying to activate. I'm trying to use a couple of solar arrays. They didn't quite cut it. I need more solar power to charge this one up, but there's only 2 on this planet, and this is the second one that I need to do. So let's have a look at what we need to do to buy. So I've got almost 90,000 bytes of data. I've been preparing for this, if you can tell. So let's have a look. There's nothing there that's new, and nothing there. Let's find these bits. The drill mods. So no. Alright, okay, that looks good. So the solid fuel jump jet for 1 aluminium alloy costing 5,000 bytes per chase. And then we have the Hydrozine Jetpack, which is 15,000. That's the most expensive thing here on this update, and we need to buy that as well. Oh, look, morning is broken. I don't think there's anything new there, but there's the Glowsticks, using one organic. Take a look at how effective they are underground. And then there's the camera, small camera, 1 steel. Not sure really how useful that's going to be, but let's buy it anyway. Okay, so that's the first tier, and then there we go. So you've got the shelter, which is there. So on the lower tier, you've now got tier 2. You've now got the field shelter. And I have a hideously sore throat, by the way. Nothing new on the power. Storages, medium storage, nothing there. Platforms, I believe. No, okay, no, nothing on the shredder. No new buggies, that's disappointing. No new drills or boosters, no winch, and there's medium printer. Tier 3, so we now get the large storage ring for 2,500. Get one of those going. And platforms, so we now have 2 extra platforms. The large Hooper platform A for 2,500, I think that was, and this one for 6,000. Now you can see why I've been doing lots of research and getting lots of money to buy these things with. That's quite expensive to build in aluminium or alloy, steel and copper. I've struggled with copper on this planet. And then I don't think there's any more new platforms, the same old ones. Again, disappointment, no new buggies. And that's it for there. And then on tier 4, we have the extra large arch platform. I think that's the last one. So yeah, no new rocket ships and the large shredder. So yeah, that's everything we've now bought, and I'm slowly dying. I've just seen my oxygen meter go. So yeah, cool. Right, so I didn't die. That's excellent. So let's get some of these built up. I think I'm going to change planets, because this one's doesn't have the resources on it. At least the base that I'm sitting at doesn't have the resources on it that I need. So I think I'll move. Okay, so let's kick off with Glowsticks. Now, Glowsticks are actually quite a nice addition to the game, because for now you can actually use the organic material to actually craft something directly, and it's simply a case of choosing it off of your backpack and just pressing the green button in the middle as before. Now, the way you use these is quite good, because these are easy to make, the resource easy to find, and if they end up here, there's 2 ways of using them. The first way is you have your backpack open and press F, as it drops a glow stick. There it is. Let's turn that off, turn that down, and you can see It gives off not a great deal of light, but it actually gives you an idea of where you're going. So let's pop that back in. But this is how I would use them. Now, I quite often like to run away from my tether, and then I tend to lose sight of it. Now, because the glow sticks are on my right hand side, and normally when you're walking along you would press T to drop a tether, what you can do is as you're walking off, if you press V, it drops one for you. You don't have to go through the whole pressing an F. There we go, press V again, and keep going, and if you don't find anything, oh yeah, it's like, oh, this looks interesting, let's go over there. Oh, there's some salarite, that's useful. It's like, and at this point I'm now lost. I don't know where I'm going or what I'm looking for, but hey, this is my path back. I now know exactly where my tether is. I can pick up my glow sticks along the way. If I really want to, I can just leave them there if I really did. It's not important. But then if you've got a limited oxygen supply, then something like this is really quite useful, and being able to drop yourself some breadcrumbs to follow is quite a useful thing, because then you pop back through here and you go, oh look, I can see my tether now. Excellent. And that's how useful they are in the beginnings of the game. Right, so let's take a look at some of the other bits and pieces. Let's take a look at the jetpack. Okay, so I'm at my main base on Sylvia, and as you can see I've got all the ingredients to make a titanium alloy. So we'll go with that. See the ingredients going in. I've got the nitrogen. I've pretty much got every type of gas here that you need, having gathered it from varying other planets. So that's one titanium alloy. And then I also need the aluminium alloy times 2. So let's put that on our backpack and put that on the backpack. So that's one aluminium alloy, and that's another. So it's just taking in the copper and the aluminium there. Right, oddly enough, I do actually have some hydrozine fuel here ready and waiting, so that was quite fortuitous. Right, so let's build our 2 solid fuel jump jets. That's on the back. Look at that! Look at that! It's automatically attached itself there. But because I've got the work light on, so it has to fit on those sides. Look. So I've had to forego my work light, which I love. Then you've got the hydrozine jetpack. Let's see how that fits on. I bet it fits on those 2 bits. Personal mobility device. Okay, so what I didn't initially realise is there actually seem to be 2 different devices. So you've got one that is a hydrozine fueled jetpack, which I haven't used yet. These ones which are solid fuel thrusters, so you can still use them, but obviously they're only good for so long, I guess. So let's offload those. Let's take those off because I think they're completely separate, and I think yeah, you think you need 2 of them. Well, that's a bit damning, isn't it? Oh no, 1 will do. 1 does the job, look. Hey! Cool, there you go. It's a bit jerky on my laptop, but what the hey. Look at that. And you can still carry your other bits and pieces, which is a bit of a relief. Because I don't like going without my oxygen tanks if I can help it. It also means you can still have your work light on if you're like me and you like a work light here and there. So let's take a look at some of these other platforms. Okay, so before I build any of these platforms, I'm actually taking a look at them just to see how useful they're going to be to me. And the answer, pure and simple, is I don't think they are. If you take a look at the blueprint for this particular one, which is the Large Hooper Platform B, you can see that there's one connection there for a double item and one connection there for a double item, which is fine, I guess. So you might be able to put some storage on there, but that's about it. You can't actually put, or you wouldn't want to put something like, I don't know, and you wouldn't be able to put anything bigger than the small printer on it, because most of these devices, like the tables, like research chamber, the burners, the chemistry lab, the condensers, the large printer, even the medium printer. You might better get a medium printer on it actually, because that only takes up a slot of 2, so you better get a small and medium printer on it. Why you would put it on there anyway, and it looks like you might get 1, 2, 3, but on each side you get 6 items stored on it, maybe. But it has the power coupling by the looks of it. That's the B. The A looks even more useless, but it's like so expensive as well. It's like ceramic and copper and aluminium alloy, whereas the other one is copper, steel and aluminium alloy. So you've got to be quite advanced into the game to be able to produce these things, and they don't come across as being extra useful for the extra resources that you've got. So I'm not entirely enthused on whether I'm going to build one of those or not. I don't think they're particularly useful to me in any way, shape or form. I think it's more of a case of build them just to see what they look like in the flesh kind of thing, so I might do that. But that's off of the medium printer. Off of the large printer you have the large arch platform. Now I've got absolutely no idea where there's any connections on this at all, or what it's even used for. And again, it's a very expensive thing. It's like 2 titanium and 2 steel. Titanium, not as bad, but the steel is certainly something that you have to craft. Titanium you can dig for. But it is big, but it doesn't seem to have much on it. Maybe there's handles on it, but there doesn't seem to be any connections for anything. So it's like, what is it used for? Maybe that's something there in the centre that is like a round circle. Maybe, I don't know. I think we might have to build that just to see what it's like. I think we might have to build all of them. And then you've got, by far one of the most odd things is you've got the field shelter, which looks like a chem toilet. Excellent. So you've always got somewhere to go to the toilet. It's basically a smaller version of the shelter. It's just somewhere where you can. Now they did have something like this, and it looked like the launch pods. So that's kind of that. It's just a cheap way, I imagine, of getting somewhere to shelter, and it will perhaps supply you with oxygen. Let's have a quick look at the back by going round here. Oh yeah, look, there's an oxygenator, but you probably have to build that separately. So that's graphene and silicon. Neither of which I have, so I'm going to build a field shelter. I'm going to take it with me. I'm going to put it somewhere. But obviously, does it supply power? I haven't seen a power coupling on it at all. So it may be, yeah, there's no room for an RTG, so it does just supply oxygen. But that's better than anything else. You've still got an oxygen supply of some description, and all you have to do is build it. Graphene isn't that hard once you've got a chemistry lab and you've got the materials. Silicon, I don't actually know what silicon uses. I don't think that's difficult either. Silicon, there it was. Silicon is resin and quartz and methane gas. So not hideous. One easy to find, one not so easy to find. But the nice thing is you can actually get these materials from the soil centrifuge. So just gathering some soil and getting some resin and getting some quartz is doable. So if we do that, so graphite, you need graphite as well. for one or a few of the other bits, but there's the quartz and of course resin. You get loads of resin. You get 8 for a full soil deck. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to build those platforms just to put my money where my mouth is. So I'm going to start with the field shelter because I think that's probably going to be the easiest. Right, so I've gathered the materials, I've got all the bits I need, and I've built the different bits and pieces. So let's start off by having a look at these smaller boxes over here. Right, so the first one is the oxygenator, which will go in the back of the field shelter. Now, what's important about this are the size of these boxes. These boxes, all of them, including the field shelter and the large storage ring, they will all fit on your backpack. There it is, large storage ring. So when you package them up, they will actually fit. And you can like take that, and it will take up 2 items slots on your backpack. Or you can put them on a storage unit here in the back of your large shuttle, and then they take up just 1. Or if you've got, like I say, a storage unit, let's take this one over here just for example. That folds out, then you can have 8 different items in there. However, these slightly bigger boxes, in this case the large hoop and the large hoop platform B, they will take up an entire double slot like that. So let's move those up. Whoops. And pull the rocket close to the camera. Okay, so let's put that up there. Not having much luck with that. I don't much be able to reach there. Right, so, and then you've got this really big box, the extra large one. So those are your 3 different sizes of box, and there you go, that takes up a whole sort of like eye of 4 there. But that will then close up and then you can transport them. But let's have a look. Let's see. Let's get them out of there and unbox them, because that's what we're here to do. Now that we've made them. Right, so the field shelter I'm kind of intrigued about, so let's unpack that. Yes. Right, and it does actually supply you with oxygen, look. You do actually have... it comes with an oxygenator. Already you don't have to build one. That's good. So, let's decouple a... one of these. Let's take this one, for instance. Because one of the things that happens, it says, walks it over there. No, not the power, because it does have a power connection. Oh, that was not supposed to happen. Let's just use that. Right, so let's pick it up. Oh, I can't pick it up. Now it's deployed. Let's connect it there, and then you can see that it's providing oxygen from the table. Normally when you have the rocket nearby, it doesn't do that. So that's actually quite useful, and it wasn't hideous. Right, okay, so we can't move that. So let's move that out of the way for the time being. And just shuffle this way a little bit. Right, okay, so this is a storage ring. Let's turn it round. Put it there. That we should be able to. A large storage ring. Let's unpack that. Okay, that's, for a large storage ring, it doesn't seem to actually hold a lot. You can't put that on it, for instance, because there's nowhere to actually fit it. And it holds, what, 6 items? Let's put a battery on there. Yeah, so you've got a slot for 6 different items. Let's see if we can fill it up. Let's do this side, grab a couple of items from here. Let's grab some of these gases. Put that there. Put that there. So it does only hold 6 items, which is a bit naff. And, you know, taking up a double slot. It's nowhere near as good as that. which holds 8 and is cheaper to make as well. I don't see any advantage in that at all, other than it's round. Okay, so on to the large hoop platform. Let's just get this one out of the way. It's getting a bit messy around here now. And that one's just fallen over. Let's unpack that. Right, so, okay, so this has a power cable connection to it and has the same storage as this one, but that doesn't have the power cable. Once again, don't see the point. You can't put anything on it, like a printer or a unit of any description. So, not particularly enthused by these new additions so far. And then there's this one. This is slightly better because you've actually got these large hoop connection bits on the bottom, so you should be able to put a medium printer on it. There you go. Which is a bit daft, really, being on a slant like that, but once again holds 6 items. I suppose you could put another one of those on it as well on the other side. Just make it large storage. But again, a bit pointless when you can build, one of these platforms for 3 resin. Doesn't make a lot of sense to have that. Okay, so let's take my printer and put it back, and take that off there, and shovel this over there. Once again, that does have some power connections on it, but again, for what it was expensive. Now this one, this I didn't see any sense in at all, but because it didn't seem to have any attachments to it at all. Right, so let's I'm gonna have a look. Probably fine. I can't move it now. Oh no, it's good. Seems a bit daft that you can't move that once it's or down packet. Right, so there's a connection there. What's that up there? Oh, it just doesn't say to me that it's useful. Looks like there's connections on the top though. Let's right, so there's definitely connections up there. So at least 2, maybe 3 connections up there to store stuff, and you've definitely got. Let's grab that. You've got that one just there. But is that it? Oh, there's one there as well. So there's 3 item slots and 2 other bits. So let's grab the large printer because you should be able to do that. Let's just turn it around, and then you can make platforms up there. Once again, it was very expensive to make. It was 2 titanium and 2 steel. Again, it has power coupling on the side there. Once again, probably decorative rather than functional, to be fair. So yeah, not overly useful, to be fair. I mean, out of this, the Portapotty is probably the most useful thing, has to be said. These new additions, they're just pointless. I don't see that they're useful, other than being decorative. So let's just try one final test. I believe we've got some graphite just here. Right, so graphite. Graphite's useful in varying different ways. So what I'm going to do, as if you haven't already guessed, is on your backpack you can create a packager. Now once you've deployed this, packable space base, but you can't actually pack it down unless you probably have a packager like that. And there it is. Boom! You now have your field shelter which you can then move around and take to another place and start another base somewhere else, which you generally need to do. Okay, so what these new arches and hoops are for is for use with the recreational sphere and the zebra ball that you find lying around. And once you've got them plugged in, like I've got mine, you can see that I've got my work light up here. When the balls pass through, it activates those sockets. And that's it. And it's the same with the hoops as well. When the ball goes through the hoops, if they're powered, connected into a power grid, then they will activate the sockets on there. So not very exciting really, is it? But what I thought is you could actually use them in a different way. Rather than worrying about the recreation ball, what you could do is lay out a little course, and then you could use this as a start place, and you could have your buggies, and you could drive buggies around a course, or you could run it, use the new jetpacks to get through the hoops, and then have a little race with your friends. At least those are the only things that I can think of. So there you have it. That's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to hit the like if you have enjoyed this video, and don't forget to hit the notification icon if you want to keep up to date with our videos. But until the next time, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.